Hi, in case you don't know me, my name is Kelly and I've been an open water swim coach and an open water competitive swimmer for about 20 years. I'm here today to start my first video and talk to you about the importance of breath work for open water swimming and just swimming in general. Breath work, breath control, and breathing is the number one thing that I start all my athletes on, no matter the age. Isn't that interesting that even the most elite ultra swimmer really struggles with their breath control, and all the way down to the beginner 3-year-old who's scared to put their face in the water? I want you to stay tuned with me for the next few weeks because I'm going to go into detail about how breath work is the foundation to become the best swimmer that you can possibly be, plus overcome your fears. I really wanted to go live today, but I couldn't do that because Instagram isn't going to save my videos. So I'm just going to pre-record. This is unedited. Please forgive all my mistakes and pay attention because this is very valuable and you're going to love it. So when it comes to breath work and swimming, we really need to force our breath. We need to force inhale and force our exhale. Except for it's in reverse. We're going to breathe in our mouth and we're going to breathe out our nose. Can you hear me using the sound of my voice? When you are underwater, the sounds that you make are going to become your safety blanket. The sounds that you make are going to reverse tell your mind that everything's okay. I have my lovely child here next to me who's making way too much noise. Please, sweetie pie, can you stop making any noise whatsoever? A lot of people really want to hear what I have to say. At least that's what I tell myself. Okay? Thank you. So back to forced breath, okay? You can practice your open water swimming breath right here on land all the time. Force inhale, make some noise. Force exhale, make some noise. Force inhale, make some noise. Force exhale, make some noise. When I make that humming sound, it's coming out of my nose. This is what's going to keep you alive, especially if you're a competitive athlete. If you do not know how to exhale out of your nose as a competitive athlete, you are setting yourself up for failure. You're setting yourself up for poor body position. That's something that we're going to talk about in another video is body position. That's something we're going to talk about in another video is fear. It looks like I have a little thing stuck on my phone. Sorry. I'll have to clean it off for the next video. So the reason why we need to force our breath as practice is because we need to mimic our land breath. When you get in the water, you have to think about your breath. When you're on land, you don't have to think about your breath. When you're on land, you're breathing in and out, easy peasy, nice, shallow, easy breaths, okay? We're gonna use the full spectrum of our breath depending on your body position and your body type. So for example, if you were a super lean athlete who had a really hard time with buoyancy and breath control and body positioning, which means that your lower half of your body is just sinking, you're just dragging your lower half of your body through the water, you can use that breath. And in a later video, as we get more advanced, I'll talk to you about that. Right now, I'm going to talk about the simple foundations of breathing, how you need to force your breath, how you need to have loud sounds when you breathe in the water, and you need to mimic your land breath. When I say mimic your land breath, I'm talking about how when you go underwater, let's say you take a breath, you go underwater, and you're holding your breath, and you're swimming. Don't do that. Do not hold your breath. Don't hold your breath ever when you're swimming, unless you're that lean athlete that I was talking about when we get into more advanced breath control techniques, okay? But right now, when you go in the water, if you're feeling nervous, if you're a beginner and you really want to get in there and you don't know where to start with some breath control techniques. Start with your bobs. Take a breath above the water. Go underwater, exhale. If you do that 20 times, 20 bobs, that's going to tell your brain that everything's okay. When you hold your breath, it's going to tell your brain that nothing's okay and it's time to panic. When we're in the water, it is not time to panic. Water is your safe space. Water is where you were born. When you first entered into this world, you were in the bubble of water. So everyone can be a natural swimmer. Everybody has it inside them. I'm going to help you go back there. I'm going to help you break those fears and help you become the most elite swimmer that you can be. I've done it before. I've been doing it for 20 years. I specialize with adults. I work with kids. This is all very applicable. If you have a child and you're working on blowing bubbles, that's what we're talking about here is blowing bubbles, then have some fun with it, you know? Can you blow bubbles like a cow? Moo, 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 underwater. Can you blow bubbles like a duck? Quack, 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 quack. Can you blow bubbles like a snake? Whatever snake sounds underwater. Come up. You're right, that's a snake sound. Come up, take your breath, go underwater, make some noise. If you have kids, go underwater, scream as loud as you can with those kids. Let's have some emotional release. We're all cooped up inside right now. That's why I'm doing this. Can't work. So as you advance through your breath control techniques and your bobs, start playing with positioning your body underwater. Right now, I'm vertical. This is my land body. When I get in that water, I have 360 times infinity positions versus my one land position, which is vertical. When you get in the water and you're doing these bobs, go underwater, exhale, come up, take that breath, underwater, exhale, take those bobs to the next level. Get like a noodle or something like that and practice slow motion. Can you stop making that sound, my love? Please? Oh, my kiss, we're gonna work through the sound, okay? Sorry about that. Please don't make that sound anymore. Thanks. When I'm done with the video, you can, okay? Shh. Thank you. I love you. I need to protect my kid, and I don't really want her on social media. So this is me parenting. This is me being a coach. This is me being an entrepreneur, okay? And a coach. Thank you. So as we go through this, take your bobs to another level. Do some underwater pull-ups, slow motion. If your noodle's right here, you're holding your noodle, don't let your noodle go above the surface of the water. Force yourself to slow-mo, push yourself under the water as you exhale. Come up, take that breath, okay? So that's how you can advance your bobs, is to underwater pull-ups in slow motion. Once you get more comfortable with those underwater pull-ups, whether you have a kickboard, whether you have a noodle, whether you have a surfboard, whether you have a boogie board, whatever board you have, whatever flotation device you have, a life jacket, whether you're hanging onto a side of a boat, okay? I want you to practice some underwater pull-ups in slow motion. I want you to feel your body when you have a full breath. And I want you to feel how difficult that is to actually sink. I want you to feel your body when you have on a full empty exhale. I want you to feel how heavy your body is. After that full exhale, for example, can you hang out? Can you talk to yourself? Tell yourself, my lungs aren't actually collapsed. I actually have air in my lungs still. Talk to your body. Say, body, pull that oxygen from those lungs right now. I think I'm on a full exhale, but am I on a full exhale? And there's one way to know, okay? There's one way to know if you're on a full exhale. Can you make noise? If you can make noise underwater, then you are not on a full exhale. Finding that full exhale is very important. Finding that full breath, that full inhale is very important. Knowing the full spectrum of your inhalation and your breathwork capabilities for a competitive athlete or for anyone who's gonna get in the water is very important. Play around with that. Know your limits and then push them. Can you take a deeper breath inhale? Time yourself underwater. How long does it take you actually to make a full exhale? And then start playing around. How long can you go after that full exhale before you start to feel uncomfortable? And you feel like you need to pull yourself up slowly. When you're doing this breath work, never rush yourself through the breath work. When you start to rush yourself, that's when that panic mode kicks in. All right? We are using the sound of our breath. We're using our self-talk to push through that panic mode. You need to find a safe space. Maybe this is in your bathtub. Maybe this is in the ocean. So once you start getting those bobs down and you're feeling like, okay, cool, bobs, whatever. Even though as a swim coach, I coach bobs as a preliminary drill for even my highly competitive athletes, we do a lot of bobs. That's the first warm up that we do every time. Get in the water, do your bobs. Okay? Just start doing bobs. It's really important. It's really important to get that breathing pattern down. Take it to the next level. When you're underwater, can you go upside down? Can you be upside down underwater? Can you tilt back? Can you tilt back all the way? Can you be upside down underwater and blow bubbles and be comfortable? If you can't get there, because I know a lot of ultra athletes, for example, that aren't even there. I know a lot of triathletes who just aren't even there. You know, the only people that I know that are there are these competitive swimmers, you know, who grew up like me, you know, and my child just like breathing underwater. You know, it's time to breathe underwater. You can breathe underwater. This is how you do it. That oxygen is right there. For example,
I wasn't shh,
love her. For example, as you pull and you take that breath as that competitive athlete and you're on your side and you turn your head to take that breath, there is going to be a split second if you are in correct body position where you are upside down underwater. And the only reason why you wouldn't be upside down underwater is if you tilt that head up and you try to avoid it, which is probably what you're doing, okay? You really need to embrace being upside down underwater, which is why the breath work is so important. The breath work affects your fear levels, your panic response. The breath work affects your body position and your buoyancy. It affects your endurance. So when you're pulling your arm, you're taking that breath and you're upside down underwater, you need to be able to blow bubbles underwater, which means you need to know where your reserves are at. You need to wait for that buoyancy pop up, grab that breath, force it into your lungs with a little bit of a hold and rotate around your bubble being your lungs, your bubble being your center of buoyancy, which we're going to talk about in another video. The breath work is so important. I want you to be holding a kickboard on your back, floating, which we're going to talk about in our next video is going to be floating. And I want you to just hug that kickboard, hold it like this, whatever, lean back, tilt your head back, let the water go all the way under your nose. I want you to be able to breathe in your mouth. And breathe out your nose underwater, upside down. Grab that breath. Breathe upside down underwater. And I want you to do that for about 5 minutes. When you have done that for about 5 minutes, and you can do that whenever you want to, then I think you're ready for the next step. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for letting me be a parent and a coach at the same time. Stay tuned. Online swim clinic. I'm going to be doing a lot of videos. I'm going to include nutrition in there, okay? I did pull out some Seeking Health stuff, okay? I have a Seeking Health affiliate. It's in my profile. So when I'm talking about breath work for me, there's a lot of supplements that I take, but right now I'll just bust out 2 of them. Riboflavin. This is really important for me. This really helps with my breath because it really helps me sleep, okay? This is a personal thing for sleep. I was insomniac once I started taking riboflavin. In the morning, my sleep troubles almost disappeared overnight. Another one that's very important is adrenal cortex, okay? The relationship with your kidneys and your brain and your breath work is so important. We're going to talk about that in the fear video. Support your adrenal glands, okay? You're an athlete. You want to be an athlete. You're going to be an athlete, okay? You need to support your adrenal glands, okay? We all have trauma. Life is very interesting, okay? We really need to support our organs, especially as a competitive athlete, especially as anyone who wants to get in that water, okay? Because even I have fear responses to water. I do. Okay, I have fear responses that I minimize and that I work through, okay? Thank you so much for tuning in. Talk to you later.